Guys, what's up? It's Karl here, back with a versus battle of two of the devices that you guys have asked for the most. It's of course the brand new 2020 iPad Pros against the refreshed 2020 MacBook Air. Just wanted to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsor, WeVPN. They're donating $1 per app download for coronavirus or COVID-19 relief, so I think it's going to a great cause. I know that we're all stuck inside, so more on them later on, and of course links down below. So to this comparison, both devices are now hovering in and around that $1,000 price point. And because we have more updates coming to the iPad Pro, they're bridging the gap between a laptop and a dedicated tablet. And I know people are having a really tough time choosing which device you'd kind of go for or pick. The MacBook Air starts off at $999, but if you go for the spec that I recommend, spend 200 extra bucks, get 16 gigs, and if you can squeeze that extra $100, you'll get the i5 quad core. That comes to 1,300 bucks, and that's a device that will last you a couple years. And people are also asking, should you get this, the MacBook Air, or the 13-inch MacBook Pro? Do not go towards the MacBook Pro. We are expecting a refresh some point this year to the 14-inch MacBook Pro. The MacBook Air has a better keyboard. I've had horror stories with my previous gen MacBook Pros. The butterfly switches have failed on me 2 to 3 times on each device. We've also got better RAM, and in general, it's a better device. Why buy a MacBook Pro that's due for a refresh? Stick towards the Air if you're in the laptop game. The iPad Pros, on the other hand, are a bit of a tougher choice because A, we have 2 different sizes. As you can see, we've got the 11-inch and 12.9-inch. Those come in at $799 or $999 respectively. And unlike a laptop where it's a bit easier to expand the external storage, get an external hard drive, you can't really do that as well with an iPad, so maybe lean towards the 256 gig model. And that now becomes either $800 or $1,100 depending on which size you get, and then you need to factor in the accessories that you have to add, and those are usually OEM to Apple and they cost an arm and a leg. Apple Pencil, 129 bucks. The Smart Folio, another 100 bucks. If you add, say, the trackpad, that's another $75 out of the pocket. You're running an extra 300 bucks. And if you consider the brand new Magic Keyboard that's coming, which I think makes this way closer to a laptop, those start at $300. That's a third of a price of the actual tablet. So that's a ton of money in just accessories alone. And speaking of the Magic Keyboard, which isn't even available yet, it's coming out later on in May, you'll have to wait for that. That will really bridge the gap as it has the same keys as the MacBook Air. It has a trackpad. I just find it so strange from Apple. They're releasing a new iPad that focuses so heavily on its accessory, but that accessory isn't even available yet. You'll have to wait till May. So if you're really gung-ho about the iPad Pro, probably just wait till then. Keep in mind, if you've got the last gen iPad Pro, that Magic Keyboard will work with that as well. So you're breathing new life into the device, and I don't think you need to upgrade to this gen if you've already got the previous one. And interestingly enough, on social, I asked which device would you guys pick, and 2/3 of you lean towards the iPad. This is an easy cop-out on my end. You have to figure out what you're using your device for. I think the iPad makes a great device, and my opinion might change when that Magic Keyboard comes out, but for productivity, for what I do, I'm video editing and responding to emails. That's the main uses of my laptop. For everything else, I can use my phone. That's why I'm sticking to my MacBook Air. I typically answer 3 to 4 hours of emails a day. I need a dedicated keyboard. I cannot get by on Apple's Smart Key Folio. The typing experience on this just isn't there yet. You can probably get by jotting down the quick notes, sending off a quick email, but if you're spending more than 2 hours typing, get a dedicated keyboard. It is worth it. The second major thing which I do on my laptops is edit these YouTube videos, specifically in Final Cut. And yes, you can get by on an iPad. I've edited videos on these devices, they're okay. I'm just not as quick, not familiar, so maybe it's a skill component on my end, but having a dedicated mouse, having a keyboard with shortcuts makes my life so much easier for video editing. The iPad Pros, on the other hand, are still awesome devices, easily the best tablets in the market. There's no question about that. They're really suited for media consumption. It's all screen. They're really nice to look at. If you're into mobile gaming, I think that's the direction that most people are going when they do play games now. No question, an iPad takes the cake. Creatives, using the Apple Pencil, you can draw some pretty incredible things. If only I had a few of those skills. Photographers, I edit all of my Lightroom pics on mobile. And for all of you spec heads out there looking for benchmarks, the iPad Pro crushes the iPad Air. It is a great device. But the thing that holds this device back, especially if you're dropping $1,000 on a device, is that accessory that we have to wait till May. So if you're in the market for an iPad Pro, wait till then. If you do need a camera for any of your content, so if you're into AR stuff, obviously the iPad Pro takes the cake. You cannot shoot anything with that front-facing potato cam on the MacBook Air. Just don't be that person that is snapping pics away with their iPad. I think that's a whole other discussion on its own. But yeah, that's kind of be my comparison of the new iPad Pro against the 2020 MacBook Air. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Which device would you take if you're given the choice? Their form factors make them super mobile and portable, and if you're a real baller, you could actually have both devices. Use the iPad as the sidecar, maybe use your laptop for emailing. Hope you guys are all staying safe and have enjoyed the flow of content, just trying to keep you guys a bit entertained during all this isolation time. We'll catch the rest of you in one of my next vids or vlogs. Peace. And I know in today's current situation, a lot of us are working from home these days, myself included, and I do use a VPN on a day-to-day basis to stay safe and secure. VPN has unlimited bandwidth, global coverage, so maybe when I am traveling around again, that becomes relevant. And they're actually the cheapest VPN service that I found at $2.50 a month, and even if you go month to month, it's only $4.99 per month. It's kept all of my personal info safe and secure across all of my devices, whether I'm on iOS, Android, or even over on my computer. And like I mentioned at the beginning, they are donating $1 per every app download for coronavirus COVID-19 relief, so I think it's going to a great cause. I know it's affecting all of us, so links, like I mentioned, are down below.